So I've got good news for you. You don't need to find your passion. In fact, searching for it might be the exact thing that is keeping you stuck in your business, in your life, and just knowing that you're in alignment and stepping into the calling that actually makes you come alive. So in this video, I am going to show you a better way, a way to help you move closer to the exact life that you feel called to live, one that doesn't just look good, but it feels good as you go, and it gives you energy. It fuels you, which takes you into your next level of growth and opportunity that you've probably been trying to strong arm your way into for a while now. So stick around, because this could be the very thing that changes everything for you. Hey, I'm Liz Hartke. I help overwhelmed entrepreneurs become the visionary CEOs of their businesses so that they can get beyond busy and step confidently into their big next, because a business should be a blessing, not a burden. I'm a mom of 4 little ones with another one on the way. I know the drill, so let's jump in. All right, let's start with this idea of finding your passion. It sounds great, right? We hear people say it all the time, follow your passion, but here's the problem. It assumes something. It assumes that passion is some magical one-time discovery, and it puts so much pressure on you to discover it and identify it and pursue it. Like you stumble upon it and there it is. Boom. Your life is forever changed and you're on the trajectory that you want to be on. But that's not really how life works. It's definitely not how business works. And passion is not something that you find and hold on to forever. It's not like a one and done thing. It's very dynamic and it evolves and it grows just like you do. Trying to pin it down and putting pressure on yourself to pin it down could be what's holding you back right now. Searching for that thing that makes you come alive, that passion, it feels finite. So this is why when I work with my clients, I don't focus on finding a passion. Instead, I teach people to focus on what I call their big next. Does it incorporate passion? Absolutely. Does it take into consideration what does make you come alive and what energizes you? 100%. But your big next is really that next level of aligned calling and purpose in your life through the vehicle of your business. And it's not about finding this one elusive thing. It's about unlocking the version of yourself. We say like scale the leader so that the business scales, because it's a natural overflow of you and your clarity and knowing what you're being called into and the version of you that's ready to take on that next bold step. Because so often we pray for the things that we're not really prepared to, grow ourselves to be ready to take it on. But here's the kicker. Your big next is something that speaks to you, and it has for a while, and it's probably become pretty loud in your ear, but you've been forced to ignore it because you feel like you're managing so much that you can't even fathom taking on that next thing, or you can't even imagine what elevating or growing or shifting into a new trajectory would look like because you just feel so maxed out. And it's not something you have to go find. It's something that you just need to recognize. It's an awareness thing. And that's why I'm so obsessed with leadership, because so much of it foundationally is just about awareness. When I was lost for years in the grind of my business, trying to check every box that, the industry or society told me to check, I realized that I wasn't pursuing my calling. I was trapped in busyness. And your big next is the bridge from where you are to where you want to be. You know what the broken bridge from where you are to where you want to be is? Busyness. Right? I don't care if you have a jam-packed schedule. I don't care if you're doing all the things. I don't care how productive you are. If you're not lasered in on the right things, it's robbing you from that calling and that purpose and that potential and that prosperity and freedom that you really want. Let me tell you about one of my biggest big next moments, and it really rocked my world. Something that will stay with me forever and has changed me, I think, at such a foundational and DNA level that I will never be the same. So for many years, I ran my business and I would help entrepreneurs grow and scale their businesses. We saw really great results in terms of the bottom line, right? We were doubling, tripling with some of my clients. We were 5Xing and beyond their revenue and their businesses and their teams. But there's so much about that pursuit that you start to get into this rhythm of like, I'm growing for the sake of growing and I don't know why anymore. And I've lost the heartbeat of what I do and why I do it. And just a little over a year ago, we were pregnant. Well, let's be real. I was pregnant. Our family was expecting our 5th little one. And we were so overjoyed. I have 4 little kids. We homeschool. It's chaos all the time, in case you're wondering. At 17 weeks, we found out that our sweet little boy no longer had a heartbeat. And it stripped me down to the studs. I'm telling you, like the most humbling experience of my life. I soon after delivered our son and he had passed. And immediately after that, I started massively hemorrhaging. It was terrifying, and there is no reason that I should be here sharing this story with you because it was only miracles that allowed me to stay here. I lost upwards of 60% of my blood volume, and usually around 40%, it's catastrophic. A life-saving surgery and a massive blood transfusion saved my life alongside whatever was happening in that room that day. But I can tell you that when I came to in the next day or two, I remember laying in the hospital bed with my husband. I was super weak. I couldn't lift my head off the pillow, couldn't get myself to the bathroom. But I just remember, and I'll never forget saying to him, I will never spend another moment of my life in my business, in our home, how we're raising our family, doing anything that God is not calling me to do. That is a big next moment. That is a moment where you realize I spent all these years being so busy and progressing and scaling, but it wasn't in alignment with that calling, with those things I was put on this planet to do. Your business should be a vehicle for you to live out that calling. It should be a profitable, prosperous, freedom-producing vehicle, but it usually isn't. And so much of the principles I want to talk about, and especially in the next video where I'm going to get into the how, that it's not going to come from doing more. It's not going to come from adding more to your schedule. It's not going to come from adding more people to your team or buying the next course on the next strategy. That clarity didn't come from grinding harder. It came from having a moment where everything was stripped away. And I was in stillness for the first time probably in my life because I'm an all gas, no brakes kind of person. And I came to the realization of, oh my gosh, I am sprinting on a treadmill. I am going in the wrong direction. This is not what I'm meant to do. And that's why I have reimagined and redefined everything in my business since that day so that I could live into my calling and my passion and my purpose of cultivating the calling in every entrepreneur and founder that I meet. And I want to help you do just that. So let's get a little bit tactical. What does that translate to? So how do you find your big next? So I'll talk through 3 simple practical steps because I just want things to be digestible, but also highly impactful for you. So the first one is like an energy assessment. We always think that everything's about time management. It's really about energy management. We talk about a lot in our mastermind and with our clients and on our podcast around this idea of fire starters and fire snuffers. So the fire starters are the thing, go figure, that sparks that fire in you, directly connected to passion, right? Like what is innate in you? What makes you come alive? What do you get in the state of flow doing? It's your sweet spot as the visionary CEO of your business. It's the stuff which is super unfortunate, that gets pushed to the back burner because we're spending so much time reacting and responding in our business that we don't make the space because it feels frivolous for the things that we actually love. Yet the things we love are the things that are going to drive profit the most. What are you doing in your business or your life right now that is totally sucking the life out of you? That's your fire snuffer. Those are the things that stress you out, or you see them on your schedule or in your planner and you're like, oh, I'm dreading this, or I suck at this, or this is going to take me forever. Those are the fire snuffers. So really just assessing it. A super simple way to do it: piece of paper, fold it in half, going the long way, fire starters on the left side, fire snuffers on the right side, and just write them out. Like brain dump the things that are sparking energy in you and draining energy from you. Again, leadership is awareness. The second thing is asking yourself the right questions. Too often we fail to actually think about anything aside from like, what do we have to do? We don't think about, who do I need to become? What am I called to do? What energizes me? What fuels me? What feels meaningful and purposeful in my life? So instead of asking yourself and beating your head against the passion wall of like, what do I feel passionate about? Ask yourself instead, what can I do right now that is going to bring me one step closer to the clarity and alignment that I need to step fully into what God's calling me to in this season? Like to step fully into my big next and step onto that trajectory instead of working away from it. So asking yourself the right questions. I start every day with time and reflection. Now, I have a tool that I'm going to pass along to you for free. You can grab it in the description below, but it's clarity prompts for elite entrepreneurs. And these are the questions that I ask myself each morning, especially in seasons, because I'm not immune to it, where I do feel stuck, or I do lack clarity, or I do feel like I don't know what the right answer is. I just feel like I have to go to my checklist and my to-do list because that's all I know what to do right now because I just feel so overwhelmed. So if you go to the description, you can grab that. It's free. And it's a tool that I use with my most elite level entrepreneurs to gain instant clarity because it's the right questions are going to give you the right answers in the right direction. And then the third thing you can do is audit your schedule. really just looking at it and assessing like, oh my gosh, I have meetings that like bleed throughout my whole week, right? Like it breaks up my day. I don't have any big chunks of time where I'm focusing on my CEO work that is actually going to move the needle in my business. Or maybe you see like, I have way too much white space in my calendar. What am I doing? Like I'm just filling it with random stuff. Whatever comes my way, I react to it instead of having a calculated strategy as to exactly what you focus on when. What are the most high leverage things you can do? So go to the description, grab that tool. So now that you're kind of on the path to discovering your big next versus trying to claw your way out of the passion hole, which we want to get you out of, you're probably wondering, how do I actually make time for this? Because I genuinely feel like I'm juggling 1,000 balls right now and I can't keep them all in the air at once. And I can't fathom doing anything different because if I shift my head one iota, I'm going to lose steam, fall off track, whatever. I've got you totally covered in the next video that's going to come up on your screen. I want to show you how to intentionally focus so that you can truly go from busy, overwhelmed entrepreneur to making space for what truly matters and actually moves the needle and takes you into your next stratospheric level of growth. It helps you become the visionary CEO that you're called to be, that's going to unlock the things that you truly want and the meaning that you want. I want you to do it in alignment with your values, who you're called to be, your family, all the wonderful things. So click on over there and I'll see you there. I can't wait to break this down for you.